my dear friends, welcome to SD Tech Walk. In this video, we'll discuss about tuples in Python. Let's move on to the video now. What is a tuple? Tuple is also a sequence data type that can contain elements of different data types, but these are immutable in nature. That's my tuple. Now, let me discuss how to create a tuple. There are three ways how I can create a tuple. Let me discuss the first way now. Just I give a variable t is equal to, within round brackets, the element separated by comma. So this will create a tuple. How will I know this is creating a tuple? Let me check with the type method, which will give you the type of the variable. So type of t, yeah, it has given me the class tuple. That means I have created an object or instance of the tuple. So it's only integers I have given. Let me give one more tuple. T1 is equal to, I give some string 1, 2, I give some integer values 1, 2, and I give some float values, and tuple itself I will give here. Let me check whether it is creating a tuple. T1, yeah. So I have got some strings, I have got some integers, and I have got one floating point value 2, and tuple 2 is present in a tuple. So this is how I can create a tuple. And whether it is possible to create an empty tuple, T2 I want to create, which is equal to empty one. So let me display and see. Yes. Let me check what is the type of that. Yes, it is tuple. And let me try to create a tuple T3 with only one element. 1. Yeah, it has been created. Just let me display and see. 1. But I find some difference. The one is displayed without round brackets. But the other tuple when I displayed, I have got for T1 within round brackets. Let me check what is the type of this. Type of T3. So I've got it as integer, but I've created in the same way. So there is some problem in creating. Let me check how to create with only one value. So my T3 is equal to, I want to create with only one value, 1 comma, I have to specify. Now let me check T3. Yes, I have got within the round brackets. Let me check what is the type of T3. Yes, it's a tuple. So using round brackets, we are able to create the tuple. Now the next way we will discuss, t is equal to, using tuple keyword, I can able to create. So this is a constructor method. So within parenthesis, we need to specify, and within the round brackets, we specify the data here. Yes, it is created. Let me check what is the type of t. Yes, I have got it as a tuple. This is my second way. Let me move on to the third way how I can create. T is equal to, I don't specify any keyword, I don't specify any round brackets, just the values I have given. Let me display this. Yes, I have got within round brackets. That means it is a tuple. So type of t is equal to tuple. So this is how we can create the tuple. So three ways we have discussed. The first one using round brackets, the second one using a tuple method, the third one without the keyword or round brackets, we can able to create it. So this is how we can create. So now we'll see how to access the tuple data. So how to access the tuple data. So I create here a tuple t is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Some data I have taken. Yes, that's my tuple. Now I want to access this. So how do I access? Using the square brackets, and inside that specifying the index, and the index value starts with 0. T of 0, the first element is displayed. Fine. Now the last element I want to display, the last element is displayed using -1. So that's to the last element. Yeah, now I want to change the value of 0. Let me try whether it is possible to change the value. No, it is not possible because already we have discussed that tuple is of immutable in nature or immutable data type. That means you can't change the value. You can't insert or you can't delete. Only we can access the values. That is the meaning of immutable data type. So tuple is of immutable data type. Now let me try to access more than one elements using the slicing operator, that is the colon. This is the slicing operator. So I specify from 0 to 4 I want to access. So starting from 0, 1, 2, 3 until 3 it will display. It will not display the index of 4. Now I want to display. I will not specify the first element, just the last index, I mean the second index I will specify. So by default it will take with 0 and before the last element, before -1 it will display. So till 1 it is being displayed, that is fine. Now let me specify the first index and let me not specify the last index. So obviously it will take -1 as the last index. So we are able to get all the data here. Now if I don't specify any index, what will happen? The actual tuple is being displayed. So this is how we can use the slicing operator. Now let me go for the next two operators I have. That is, I have in and not in operator. Whether any element is present or not, we can able to check. So 1 is present in the tuple or not. Yes, it is present. And I can check 10 in T. No, it is not there. And same thing I can go for not in. 1 is not in T. No, it is there. So we'll get false. 10 is not in T. True, because it is not there in T. Oh, that's nice. Now I know that 1 is present. It's telling me true. But how do I get the index of that? Where it is present, how do I get? So I have a method called index method. Index of 1. And here 2 ones we have actually. So which index I'm going to get? It's the first occurrence. So 0 is the first occurrence. So that will be displayed. That's fine. Now how many ones are there? Using count method we can able to get how many ones are there. Yeah, 2 ones are present. So that is about my count method. So in and not in operator will specify whether it is present or not. If it is present, it will return true. If it is not present, it will return false. That is for in. Not in operator, if the element is not there, it will display true. If it is there, it will display false. And index will give you the first occurrence of the data what we are searching. And count method will tell you how many times the particular element is present. Now we go for the next one. And I take one more. T1 is equal to 1, 2, 3. I go for the concatenation now. Using concatenation operator, we can able to concatenate. T1 plus T1 only will give. Want to concatenate and see. Yeah, it's so simple to concatenate. Just using plus operator, both the values have been concatenated. I want to repeat this for n number of times. I'll specify 3 times. Yeah, I'm able to get this. And I want to find what is the length of T1. Yes, 3 elements I have in T1. T1 is unchanged. Only these operations we have done. If we want this result to be stored, we need to take one more variable and we need to assign that. Okay, that's fine. Now next one we'll see about typecasting. I want to convert the tuple T1 what I have to a list. Whether it is possible, LST is equal to list of T1. Yeah. Now let me check what is my LST. 1, 2, 3. We can see that it is inside a square bracket. That means it is converted to a list. But still I will check with the type method also. LST. Yes, it's a list. Now I have a list LST. I want to convert it to a tuple. So LST I want to convert it to tuple. TUP is equal to, I'll specify tuple of LST. Now let me check tuple how it is being displayed. Yes, it is being displayed within round bracket so that it is a tuple. Still I can check with the type 2. Type of tuple. Yes, we got this class tuple. So it has been done. Now the next thing what we are going to discuss is about packing and unpacking. I want to display about pack and unpack. So what is pack now? When we create a tuple, we normally assign values to that. This is called packing a tuple. For example, I want to create here fruits equal to, within round brackets, I specify some value here, apple, banana, mango, and one more also I will specify, watermelon. So this is just, we are assigning values to a tuple. This is just I have packed. Now I want to unpack. What is this unpacking? In Python, we are allowed to extract the values back into variables. This is called unpacking. So now what I want to do is A, B, C is equal to fruits. So just into the variables, I want to unpack the tuple. I am expecting an error for this. Yes, I have got an error. That is value error. What is that value error? Too many values to unpack. That is, we have given only 3 variables, but I have 4 values in the fruits. So now what can I do for that? It must be equal how many values you are going to unpack. So now it has been unpacked successfully. A, apple, B, banana, C, mango, D, watermelon. That's nice. But in this case, only 4 values we have, so we have given. But sometimes we may not know how many values we have. So what can I do now? This is my fruits. So just A, B, I will specify, and I don't know how many values are there. Whatever remaining values are there, you just unpack to a list. So star C, if I tell, the remaining values will be unpacked to a list. Now let me display A, apple, B, banana, C is a list with mango and watermelon. That how can I tell it is a list? I can see that it is a square brackets. Otherwise, I can check the type 2, type of C. You can see it's a list. So this is about my packing and unpacking. So as we have discussed that there is no possibility of modifying or deleting or inserting the data, but I can delete the tuple itself. It will completely delete the tuple. So I have T1, 1, 2, 3 I have here. I want to delete this tuple DELT1. So this will completely delete my tuple. Now let me check whether T1 is present. No, I don't have T1 itself. T1 it's not defined. Means it is not there. Okay, that's all. That's about my tuples. Hope you have enjoyed and you have understood about tuples in Python. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.